today we have a 2015 BMW 435i. Now this customer is complaining that while driving, the engine drivetrain malfunction light comes on, customer loses power in the engine, he has to pull over. It runs, but doesn't run very well, and sometimes it dies. It's been in here in the past. A few months ago we did the fuel pumps on it, as it did have faults for it. So we replaced those and the car ran, it was fine. So now he's back again. Let's see, he does have fuel in here. The faults that it has this time, it is different. It has low fuel pressure from the low fuel pressure pump, but while the tank is empty, so that's the fault. So low fuel pressure with tank empty. But if we look right here, he has a good quarter of fuel left in it. So we're gonna see what we got going here. So through the diagnostic machine, I'm just gonna check some basic stuff here. Function test of the fuel level display. Okay, here we go. So it's doing a self-test on the instrument cluster. Pretty cool. So we can see that this is working, but let's see if it goes all the way down. And it does. So we know the gauge is working, the components in the gauge and then instrument cluster are working. So let's see what else we can find. All right, reading out the statuses of the right and left fuel level sensor. The left side here, it's saying it's got 12.7 liters. That's plenty of fuel. The right side, which is where the fuel pump rests, has 0. It says it's empty. So I'm gonna open it up and verify and see what's going on. So with the rear seat removed, this is where the fuel pump rests on this side here, sending units. This side, there's no access port to the fuel tank. It does have a fuel level sensor on this side, but it's sealed, you cannot see. So I'm gonna open this up just to see what it looks like inside there and verify if there's any fuel on the other side. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but if there's no fuel, then the sensor is bad. If there is fuel on that side, like it says it has, then something's not causing the fuel to transfer over onto this side here. All right, let's take this cap off here, this locking ring. Special tool here. Alright, I'm just trying to take this pump assembly out here so I can see what's going on inside. Alright, pump assembly is out, and I am verifying there is basically no fuel in here. I mean, there's this tiny little puddle at the bottom, but that makes sense. The pump is not getting any fuel. This is the siphon light line, which goes to the pump assembly. So as it pumps, it siphons fuel from the other side to fill this side up. So if the other side is full, then it's not siphoning over for some reason. Either this became detached on the other side, or there's a kink or crack in the line. But if the other side is empty, in fact, then that means the fuel level sensor is giving a false reading to the instrument cluster, stating he still has fuel when he does not. If that's the case on this, then it would need a complete fuel tank, as there's no service port to access that part and replace it individually. So now I need to verify if there is fuel on the other side or not. So I got to figure out a way how to verify that, because it's you know, there's a hump right here where the drive shaft goes, and there's no access port. So maybe I can get like a Borescope in there or something to kind of see what's going on. It's not going to be easy. All right, I think I'm going to try using the Borescope on here. And this thing, got to replace the batteries. They die very fast, so got to replace them all the time on this unit here. All right, this turns on. It's working. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm just gonna feed this into the other side. Hopefully I can get a pretty good image. The image on this aren't the best. Actually, this is one of the worst units we've ever bought. We bought some cheaper ones. They work really good. They just get destroyed over the years. But for some reason, this one we had to turn in 3 times for glitches. The tip was disconnecting, the camera was bad. Actually 4 times we've had to repair this. We don't actually use it that often. It's just not a very good product. Anyway, we're gonna see what kind of image we can get with it. Hopefully we can see some stuff here. Okay, I'm passing the hump here. There's the hump. So where the drive shaft is, the image, it's hard to kind of see what's going on. So this does have another camera, it's just not on the tip. So I'm thinking I'll use the side camera here if I can't really get a good feel of what's going on. It thinks I want the brightness, but I don't. I want the camera to change angle. So it's got a software error here again. Okay, I'm getting a pretty clear shot on the other side of the tank. It's very difficult, but it's pretty much empty. There's maybe like an inch of fuel on the other side. So that means there's a false reading on the fuel level sensor, and the customer is actually running out of fuel, even though it's showing full. I kind of had a video like this on an older vehicle recently. You might have seen it. But anyway, that's what's going on here. So I'm going to try to see if I can find the fuel level sensor and see if it's snagged on something. Maybe I can get it unsnagged, but if it is not snagged, then it's going to need the whole complete tank because this part is not serviceable separately, unfortunately. All right, it's very difficult to see, but that arm is the fuel level sensor. The left is the top of the tank, the right is the bottom, and that arm is all the way down, so it should indicate there's no fuel on this side. And it is saying there's fuel on the side. It's saying there's quite a bit, and there's not. Nothing in here looks detached. I checked everything and kind of got a glimpse of everything the best I could, but nothing looks detached here. Though we were in here not too long ago on this other side, we did tread lightly. We didn't cause any of this, but unfortunately, this level sensor is just bad. You know, it's just faulty. It needs a new one. All right, so the customer approved replacing the fuel tank. I've already got the drive shaft ready to come off here. This nut here is a one-time use only. It's like a crushed element in case of an accident. So this requires special tools. So now I'm just getting all this out of the way. I got some of the trim panels out, support stuff down here. And the tools required here is this guy, and this holds the joint here. So that bolts up in there. I already did it, so. And this big old wrench is for the nut right here. Goes on like that. So the drive shaft out, some of the brackets, also the charcoal canister here. Charcoal canister is what holds the fuel vapors for burning it later. And the straps are off. The tank is hanging. I got all the venting lines off and stuff. The e-brake cables are in the way. I'm gonna try to snake it out this way, because this side of the tank is smaller than this side, so I think I have a good chance. If not, I'm gonna have to take the cables out from up there, put it in service mode up at the center console there, and try to give myself a little more slack, or have to pull the cables out completely. I can't really pull them out from here because this rigid line right here goes all the way up to the tunnel there. So even if I undo these, it's not really gonna give me too much to play with, but I might. I'll have to play with it and see what I get. All right, I'm gonna have to take the cables down because this is too tight. It's just too tight. And plus, if I'm going back up with the tank, I'm gonna probably regret not doing it. It'll be much harder because I don't have gravity working for me. So I'm at the e-brake handle right here, and I pulled a boot up on the interior. And down in here, okay, I got in there as a better view. You can see that it's in service mode now. So I should be able to start getting a little bit of slack on the cables and remove them from the rear axles. All right, loosening it up top gave me just enough slack from being in service mode to, it looks like I can get it out a little bit. So I did undo this side here. It's still in there. I have to do quite a bit more to take this out. I'm just gonna leave it hanging. I have the strap off of it. It has slack in here so it moves. and let's see what happens. All right, we got the tank out. So what it looks like in the area where the tank usually is. All right, there's the old one. We have the new one right next to it, brand new. It does not come with the fuel sending unit, or I mean the fuel pump assembly. So I'll just transfer the one over. It's new anyway, we replaced it recently. So it's perfect, this thing is brand new, looks beautiful. We'll go back together with it, shouldn't be a problem. Everything under here is back together, exhaust is up, drive shaft is in, all the braces and heat shields are in, evap lines are in as well. You can see there's quite a bit of stuff in the way of removing the fuel tank. So we're gonna put it down and install the fuel pump and all the other stuff up top, put some gas in it, and see if it runs. All right, everything is back together, it starts up. I cleared all the fault codes. I had a bunch of fault codes I had to key on and off throughout the duration of the repair. Anyway, everything feels good. Before I added a little bit of fuel, it did show empty on the gauge, which is a good sign, so it's reading correctly there. And now I'm headed to the gas station. I'm gonna give them about a 3/4 tank of fuel just to make sure the levels, you know, respond good. So I thank you for joining me on this video here. Appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Happy motoring to you.